everybody. So we're once again in Folkston, Georgia at Okefenokee National Wildlife Refuge. So today is February 8th. So back in 2022, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signed into law that annually, every year, February 8th would be Okefenokee Swamp Day. So here we are celebrating today. And fortunately, Okefenokee Adventures, and I think also the Swamp Park in Waycross, offered $15 boat rides today and today only. So it's $35 other than that. So we came because we want to ride the boat. You ready? I'm ready. Everybody's ready. So let's go see some gators. Okefenokee National Wildlife Refuge in Folkston, Georgia. And today is Okefenokee Day, which is February 8th, 2025. So before we go out on the boat ride, they're offering discounted boat rides today since it's Okefenokee Day. We're going to eat lunch in the car because we didn't get here in quite enough time for the 10 o'clock boat. So got this lovely ham and Swiss sliders. That was marked down. I love marked down stuff. And then we got it's like a beautiful fruit parfait. That's got some dragon fruit. Never had that before in my life. It's pretty tasty. That's in there. Really doesn't have a taste though. Kiwi fruit, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, strawberry yogurt, and granola, and some coconut flakes. So that is lunch today. You're excited about it? Oh yeah, and we got Halloween napkins, but like I say, don't judge because I'm the one that buys the 4th of July forks. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and eat before we get on the boat, so we won't have to worry about that while we're out there.
I know it doesn't. No, they're going to push the alligator off.
If we get stuck, somebody's going to have to push and somebody's going to have to paddle.
I can push.
I'll be in the back going, yay! Swanee Canal, a little over 2 miles. Then we're going to go out in the prairie. We'll stop a little bit out there, kind of look around, and then we'll make our way back. There should be plenty of alligators out today. We're not going to be able to stop at every one or we won't get very far. I'm going to give you some of the history, about some of the trees and all that, about the alligators and all that, but if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask. If I don't know the answer, we'll figure it out when I get back. I know a little about a lot of things is what I like to say. There's just too much to know everything. And I don't like to tell stuff that I don't know is exactly right.
I do. I go out with girlfriends sometimes. We go kayaking. But Michael doesn't swim very well.
Right. Well, there is a coalition that we do. They do help burn around the edges of the swamp in case we have a wildfire. And I'll explain the 2007 fire we ended up. The refuge is a little over 407,000. With the interior 350,000 acres actually being a wilderness area. We are the 3rd largest wilderness area east of the Mississippi. We are the largest blackwater swamp in North America. We were signed into existence in 1937 by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, primarily because of the migratory birds. Nobody understood the ecosystem out here. They just knew there were a lot of migratory birds coming through, and it needed to be protected. But before all that happened, about 1890, the state of Georgia declared the Okefenokee as, quote, useless and good for nothing. See, this swamp is not very deep. It averages 2 to 3 feet, and underneath this water is just maybe 20 feet of peat, so it's very soft.
Wow.
You can't do a lot with it. It's a very tough area to live in. So the state of Georgia didn't know what to do with it, so they sold it at auction for 26.5 cents an acre.
Oh, man.
Swanee Canal Company was formed. They bought it, and their plan was to drain the swamp, cut the cypress, and then sell it off as farmland.
Wow.
Y'all catch anything today? Only when they won't catch.
There we go.
They're dead too, all of them.
We disturb them and get them all excited. But they planned to drain the swamp, so they actually dug the canal back behind us, back toward the St. Mary's River, in an effort to drain the swamp. Well, they really didn't know what they were doing. They hadn't surveyed the swamp, and they did not realize that there is over 1 million acres of watershed that actually feed the swamp.
Wow.
So gave up after about 3 years and decided to concentrate on the canal going into the swamp. They dug the Swanee Canal 11.5 miles into the swamp, and they were hoping to harvest enough.
This one looks like
So,
sweet baby.
they were trying to get to the big trees, and by big I mean 20 feet in diameter. They didn't know that what they were doing good enough that they cut green trees, tried to float them back, and of course they sunk. So they figured out they had to kill the trees, be dead at least a year before they would float, but they were still huge trees. And the equipment kept tearing up, so after about 6 years, they gave up. They filed bankruptcy, gave it back to the government. Hebbard Cypress out of Philadelphia came in. They knew what they were doing. They cut timber everywhere. They surveyed the swamp. They found out those big trees were mostly on the north and the west. So they were going to use the canal, plus they laid out over 500 miles of movable railroad tracks. Now these railroad tracks were like 16 gauge railroad. They were laid across down trees, so they almost floated. They managed to harvest 490 million board feet of cypress and longleaf pine out of here. That alone is enough to build a boardwalk around the earth 4.5 times.
Cool.
They estimate smaller companies cutting around the edge and cutting after Hebbard quit cut another 400 million board feet. But you got to figure what the outside of the swamp is now was 40 miles in any direction bigger. That was swamp. Waycross, Homerville, Folkston was all swamp. It's all been drained to build stuff now, and this is what is left. But there was a lot more land.
Are there any virgin cypress trees left?
There are a handful, and I mean like 5 or 6 of those great big cypress trees off the northernmost canoe trail up toward Waycross. They just deem those not cost efficient to cut.
Yeah. Oh, he's big.
Okay. Still nice
There's no way to tell, but I'm thinking it's a female.
by the size.
Because most females don't get over 9 feet, but they're starting to put on a little weight. So breeding season will start the end of this month. It'll go almost through July. Alligators are very territorial. Males have very, very large territories. They'll have tons of females that they'll make circuits around their territory visiting their females and trying to keep the other males out. Females have much smaller territories, and they're kind of like us. They have personalities. Some tolerate other females, some do not. Some just don't like other alligators near them. They're really a solitary creature. We see more socialization and laying out together this time of year because there's not breeding friction yet, and there's not a lot of food competition yet. If a raccoon happens to be feeding right there, he'll run there and grab it. Look at a little guy. Alligators like these little ones, we'll stop seeing them. Alligators do predate on other alligators. Not all of them do it, but alligators 6 foot and under are subject to be eaten by bigger alligators. And the males coming out of brumation, knowing that they're going to need all that energy to keep up with the gals, they have more of a tendency to attack and eat other alligators because there's tons of protein. Soft-shelled turtle to the left.
Soft-shelled.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of them. There's a lot out yesterday. Mostly what you're seeing is just their dome. Hopefully some will be close enough that we can see them really good. This group of trees coming up on your right, there's 2 bunches. Those are black gum trees. As far as human uses, there really isn't any. You can't use them for firewood. They're full of water. They don't split. They're hard to cut. The neat thing about them is if you cut one down, it comes back as a group of 5 or 7.
Oh, wow.
They come back with a vengeance. They do have a little black berry on them in the fall that wildlife like. Oh, they're pretty red leaves.
That's her purpose.
There's a bigger alligator. His head's sticking out.
Yeah.
See, he's just doing what alligators do.
Oh, there's another one there.
They'll sleep 17, 20 hours a day.
Another one there.
Oh, there's another one.
I like to say alligators are never going to die of high blood pressure or stress. They just don't seem to stress out over a whole lot. Now, a male guarding his territory, so those are probably yellow-bellied sliders. There is some inbreeding with the red-bellied sliders and the cougars, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a big one. Yep.
See, I want to be a 7-foot alligator because I'm big enough nobody's going to mess with me. And I can lay out here on this soft stuff. I don't have to eat. Just see their backs. It gets warmer. They'll be laid out with their mouths open.
Yeah.
Hot.
That's the only way to come back.
Yeah, I have a picture of the swamp park of our and the female soft-shell turtles can get as long as 2 feet. The male's up to 1 foot. So they're just part of the root system of the cypress tree. Cypress trees put down a tap root, then it spreads out, turns upward, and comes lay over. Well, here in the swamp, it's always wet. And it helps these cypress trees stay up because, like I said,
I got that
if
one.
they manage to live 700 years, they're going to be 20 feet in diameter. And they're going to need all that added support. It's not. There's no fibrous interior into the cypress leaves. It's solid rock. Ibis? Yep, that's some ibis up in the tree there on the left.
Those are vultures.
Yeah, that's
Black
just
vultures.
black buzzards and turkey buzzards.
Three over there in the dead limb. Yeah.
Lovely.
the kayak and canoe trails, you can take a 10 horsepower or less. Even with the 120 miles kayak and canoe trails, we touch less than 2% of the
I can see
swamp.
some. I can't see everything. That sun is blinding me.
And this area up here ahead of us, so when we had that fire, and that's what it looked like all the way back to the boat dock.
Wow.
Spanish moss bandwagon. Spanish moss gets a bad rap. A lot of people think so. It does not have roots. It can't dig into the tree to take anything.
I have to get it on the way back.
It's also a filter feeder. So it filters everything that it needs out of the air and out of rainwater. It cleans the air. That you won't find a lot of Spanish moss where you have a lot of pollution. It just won't grow. It kills it. It gets a little greener when it rains. Summertime, this will stretch through here. It'll be 10 to 15 degrees cooler in here than the rest of the year. It's all this shrubbery like you see downside of the canal, but 16 to 24% is wide open prairie. Usually over about 2 feet. It's a little bit high right now from all that snow and rain we have running very fast. But as soon as they start drawing water, it'll drop. There's another one up. There's 2 up here on the peak.
Oh, cool.
So is this peat that's
That is peat. That
Oh,
brown
okay.
stuff is
so my question is
Okay.
that it was on the bottom,
Mhm.
and then what do you call it, a blowout?
that would blow up and burn the trees. It'll expand in the summertime or in hot weather, and it'll push up pieces. Also, alligators walking on the bottom, turtles walking on the bottom will dislodge it, and it comes water and they sink like a tiny little dinosaur. If they stay up, that grass will grow, and it'll start to look like all these patches of grass out here.
So the shrub scrub.
Oh, look at the bird.
Ingrid, we're starting to put on. That's the Grady. No, that's my motor. That's the Grady group. See, now you know why I hurried to get down here.
So you're calling this part wet prairie?
Right.
Okay, so
It's like solid ground, although it will be peat and very soft, so it'll still be wetland. It'll just look right. Some people compare the flyover shots of the swamp as looking like the African savanna, because you have the bunches of trees. These bunches of trees we call houses, still wet underneath, still peat, still no solid ground. We do have 72 different islands here in the swamp. They're done right here. All of those islands are high islands, they're sand islands. Some of them have different characteristics. always a fun process trying to get one of those in a 15-foot boat.
Where do you see the tag?
He's on the tail. You can probably see it from that side. You won't know it. See it on.
So they also cut those tails. Turtles up on the peak. There's a great, looks like a great blue heron straight ahead of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a huge heron out there in the water.
He's all jacked up in there. He's doing
See that
turtle
heron straight
yoga.
ahead? Yeah.
He's showing off.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Oh, and look how close.
I mean, it's only
So
a
they have
foot
pads
deep.
in the back of their legs that are kind of like throwing out. Said, I'm sorry. I'm disturbing the alligator.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I can see him on the tape. I see the thing on. I don't know if I can see him on the video.
Yeah. Yep.
How that works. He is. That's how shallow this water is out here. It starts with rock.
Oh, that's a big one. Yeah, that one's huge. There's another big one back there.
His usual day spawn. So we've had a ton of sandhill cranes. I believe they've already started back north. The past week I have not. We have the Florida sandhills which stay here, but the greater sandhills that migrate in here during the winter, I have not seen any of them. They have went out. I'm gonna wake you up, Matt. Yeah, but I've noticed this past week the not hearing as many people. They don't fly great distances on their migration during one day. Some of these little birds will get it and get after it. But sandhills, they'll fly a little ways and stop. That is a big bird.
Yeah.
Wisconsin now has a hunting season on sandhill cranes.
Yeah, a lot of states do. We do not in Georgia.
That was recent.
Florida
They never
does.
used to.
Huh?
I said that was recent.
Yeah.
Reptiles
We don't
that
have
this far
any
north?
invasive
Okay,
anything right
okay.
now.
It's
They
not
just
warm
did
enough yet.
The snakes have not come. They think our winters are too long. Up that plant, go up under that hood,
Right.
and down into the shaft where they're dissolved by enzymes and bacteria. That's the only way they found to get nutrients. So these are hooded pitcher plants. We also have the Okefenokee giant hooded pitcher plants, which will be 3.5, 4 foot tall. We have parrot pitcher plants, and we have golden trumpets out here. And then we have bladderworts. Did I set a glass of water somewhere around here? Oh, there it is. We got it down here. He was from Germany. And I had him out in the boat. He didn't talk much. He just sat and he'd stick his finger in it and he'd look. I had our executive director out here too, and she was trying to talk. He goes, I just like to listen. It changed the whole environment. I mean, we can tell it when we have a drought and it drops a foot. Big difference.
So is that still in the approval process, or is
It is. They got the preliminary permits. There's a 3-year moratorium while Georgia decides what we're going to do. If they're going to issue them the final permits. And
That would be a name unknown to the people that you're referring to.
another body of heat, so that's why he's crawled down. He's got a little warm.
There's a big one, huh?
He's laying in the
Their
water.
eyesight and smell. And
Their eyesight is about like ours. Their smell in the water is very, very good. They can smell blood. I'm not sure of the mileage, so I won't say that. They can smell dead stuff a good ways away.
and their hearing.
They don't eat carrion, do
They can hear. I'm not sure of the parameters of that, but they have ears right behind their eyeballs, and they hear pretty good. They're hard to sneak up on.
they? Do alligators eat carrion?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because they can't bite. They don't have any biting teeth. Their teeth are for holding.
Yeah.
So they have to have stuff rot. And what they do is they get a piece in their mouth. They'll use that powerful tail, raise up out of the water, and sling and try and tear off. It's another purdy one. Some of them are just purtier than others. I'm sorry, alligators are purty.
Yep.
I just wonder what goes through those tiny little brains as we go by.
It's like, stop disturbing my nap.
They'll get so used to us that they'll just lay there with their eyes closed.
Cobra position. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, usually it's better to whichever direction you're already Oh yeah, the carnivorous
Yes. Or spring, May.
Yeah.
April, May. Yeah, summertime is too hot because they'll close up. Summertime, those whitewater lilies will close up around 2 o'clock. It's so hot.
But they,
You're in a perfumery.
we came out here one year.
Yeah, so what they do,
Alligators.
they only bloom for 3 days. The one flower only blooms for 3 days.
Yeah, little skip.
Do people live in this swamp? Do people live in?
No, nobody lives within the refuge. Except, well, maybe the work campers, but that's temporary.
That's molesting the wildlife.
Grab the one on
Yeah, I got that one. Holy smoke, God, that's all.
Get some gator bites.
Yeah. Now I've seen an alligator catch a guard, which would be like the boat and it's grabbed it and right in the middle of the dick and chomped on it, chomped on it, chomped on it until the fish was dead, and then worked it around to swallow it. Yeah. Yeah, right, right. That's too big. An alligator's not gonna go after something that big. They're gonna go after something small.
But our cousin lives on
Yeah,
that
we're in
old
South
All right, we're gonna check it out. What's it called? Blue Green Garden. Oh, Blue Green. Oh, I saw it, I think. I remember that one now. Hi, Fred.
Picks his head up so his face doesn't get wet.
I took a class for wildlife about catching pythons. Well, they're very, very muscular and I couldn't hold on to it. I mean, it was like, this is really hard.
Missed them. It's a little bitty one. If I can't wrestle them, mine's not big enough to look at.
Pythons. Boa constrictors, yeah, it's a problem.
That's probably her girl boyfriend.
Oh. They like big women? Oh, there's the gator.
What's going on this morning?
This
as many.
Looking at one of the Point Commission. Two of them.
It gets fun. It's full contact fishing down here sometimes. They'll get after those fish, and so you just have to break your line off. Because they can swim faster than you can reel a big boat. I see them in the boat base, and they'll chase them. They'll go right up on the bank. And I'm yelling at people, just run. Throw your rod down. All he wants is a fish.
So is the mudfish?
And they can tell the difference between the John boats that are fishing and these boats. They'll follow the John boats that are fishing. They'll
Wow.
follow us for men.
Have flesh that tastes kind of muddy. Yeah. Or tastes like mud smells. Yeah.
Okay, so we're off the boat tour now. So now we're doing one of our favorite things, which is to drive the drive. Maybe we can see some alligators today. Saw a lot on the boat tour. That boat tour was well worth the money today. It was a one-day only deal, but we took up and went on the boat. I'm glad we came. Even better, I'm glad I was off this weekend. I don't see anything. Maybe it'll be out there whenever we come back through. Should be some somewhere. I think I need at least 10 more clouds in the sky today so I can see better. The struggle is real. There should be some out here because it is 78 degrees on a February day.
There's a turtle.
Quite a few turtles.
They need to keep that cut down like that where you can see the gators.
I want to keep it natural. Oh, there's one. There's one. Back it up. Back it up. Oh, that's a nice size one too. It's right there. Can you see it?
No. I'll see it when
I'm glad I at least saw one out here. I thought I'd at least seen more than that. It's a nice sunshiny day. Oh, there's some little ones. Look at the little ones, Mom. You see the little ones?
I see it.
Aren't they precious? I don't know where they at on the video, but I can see them with my own eyes. There's at least 3 or 4 of those.
That might have been mama back there.
I don't think so. That might have been the older sibling maybe, but I don't think that'd be the mama or the daddy as little as that one was back there. I mean, I don't know what age they start having children either. So, shut up. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up the video for Okefenokee Day 2025 at Okefenokee National Wildlife Refuge in Folkston, Georgia, which we're here quite a good bit during the year. It's one of my favorite places in the world. So the other night I was on Facebook and I saw where it was Okefenokee Day. They were offering $15 boat rides. I'm like, Mom, I'm off this weekend. You want to go to Georgia? Mom's pretty much down for whatever I want to do. So she's like, sure. So booked the hotel room and said, let's go. And I'm glad we came because we did get to see a lot of alligators today, a lot of turtles. There was a few birds. Yep. It's hot. It's currently 78 degrees now, so it's a nice February day. I can't even blame the alligators. I'd be out sunning too. If you know, after the
But there was a lot out.
Yeah, they had snow here, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it's like little ones, big ones, you name it. They had them all in between, and it was well worth the money.
Yes, I like a deal. I do like a deal. I'm not gonna lie to you. We have not taken the boat ride in almost 2 years because it's $35 a person now. And then you got the sales tax and everything on it. So for 3 people, it's like over $120. That's a little pricey, you know, whenever you want to do other things too. So I didn't mind. What was it, $34?
No, it was $32.40.
$32.40 for 2 people a day. So that was not bad at all. And it was an hour and a half. It's a 90-minute boat ride.
It was well worth it.
It was.
And the lady that was doing the boat, doing the tour, she was very informed of what was going on.
Yep. And we did not walk to the house today. We did not walk to the boardwalk today because I don't know if you know anything about Georgia heat. It's hot. And I said, forget that. We'll walk that early one morning. Today was not the day because the boat ride was the primary focus of today. So anyway, we hope you enjoyed.
And subscribe.
Please do. And we shall see you somewhere else. So true. You want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye.
Sign. Turn left.
Oh, there it is. This is in Folkston, Georgia, by the way, just in case you don't know where I'm at. I like a train.
And you see people down there.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a sport here. People come out and look at the train. Which I guess if I was here, I'm looking at the train too, so I can't say nothing. They all videoing too.
It's a long train too.
Is it?
Yeah, all you see cars back there.
Only bad thing about standing that close though, if that thing derails, you dead. Ain't nowhere to go.
Oh, you see the end of the train here. It might be here.
Well, that one wasn't as long as what the other one was. The other one was like 3 minutes that day. Where we were last year.
Pretty good size.
Yeah. I miss the days of having a caboose on the end.
Well, when I was growing up, they did have a caboose on.
Mm-hmm.